dealership. I mean, look, CNN's got bad news, CNBC, Fox TV. Somebody said, man, you do Fox TV a lot. I'm like, yeah, they're the best because they have me on more than the rest. Look, baby, it's TV. It all sucks. Unless you got a message that you want to get out. Would you agree? It's the left, the right. They're just pushing agendas that contaminate you from pushing your own agenda. Look, money follows attention. Period. End of story. It's not Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, SEOs, the internet, Google. It doesn't matter. Look, money follows attention. Okay? I'll prove it to you. The Kardashians, Paris Hilton, Lindsay Lohan gets 12 days in jail and her career starts again. Now, I'm not suggesting that you need to get that kind of attention, but I am suggesting you need to get attention. Okay? And I'm suggesting to you that some of what you've been told for the last 25 years. How many have been in the business 25 years? Okay? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You understand? Nobody's going to buy from you because you've been doing this for, 50 years. Sir, I've been doing this 50 years. What do you say? I don't care. I want to like the people. I want to be treated right. I want to get it done. So what I want to do is introduce you to, you remember this line? Everybody remember that line? What was that movie from? Glenn Ross. Okay, I need to go past this. Listen, do I go? Which one of these? Because technology kills me like it does most of you people. It is impossible, okay? I don't care what you hear the media say right now, or the President of the United States. You are still in a recession. How many agree with that statement? Okay? You are in a recession. I don't care what they tell you. Now, the truth is, it is impossible for you to experience the effects of a recession without participating in the cause of that thing. Would you agree? Your people are getting hammered daily. Recession, economy, problem, nobody's buying. They turn on their TV and they watch Saturday morning before they come to the dealership. Susie Orman, the communist, saying, never lease a car. Get rid of your credit cards. Never finance anything. And your people still have to come to work. You got customers that had to listen to that. Would you agree? So for those of you that are training once or twice a week and not every day, understand that your salespeople, your managers, your finance people, your service and parts people, your internet department is getting hammered, dominated by how they're trained to think by the media. By newspapers, radio, and print. They're getting beat. You're getting beat by the media. The message they want you to understand and believe is getting infiltrated on your sales staff before they ever make it to the store. So look, all these ideas you've gotten this weekend are great, but if you can't change and shift the attitudes of your people and yourselves and your management team, hey man, it ain't going to matter because you ain't going to execute. Would you agree? In my company, it starts from me down. 18 months ago when Bear Stearns busted, my wife's watching TV with me. She's like, what does this mean? I said, baby, that means you ain't going to see me a lot. That means in the next 18 to 24 months, everything is going to contract. It's going to implode on itself, and the only way to respond is to explode out. But everybody will do this. They'll implode in. All of you cut your budgets. Good for you. Congratulations. Give yourselves a big hand. Oh, yeah. No, that ain't a big hand. Shit. Give yourselves a big hand for getting your shit together. Yeah. But look, you can't keep cutting. You're done. You cut any more, man, you're into bone marrow. You're gonna disappear. We're gonna look up and say, let's turn the lights off now. You're there. Now we got to shift our thinking into this. Hey, what do I do now? How do I advance? This book, I wrote 3 books in the last 18 months. I'm not telling you that to brag. I'm telling you that to be an example to you. Okay? A recession is a terrible thing to waste. It is an unbelievable opportunity because it weakens the competitors. Many of you in the room got hurt in this thing. Would you agree? So when this thing, I said, okay, what's the opportunity here, Grant? The problem is everybody's going to contract. Would you agree? Dealers are not going to want to spend your money. Okay? So man, you got to figure out how to really add value now. I got to figure out how to put a footprint on planet Earth. So every time you think of anything, you think of Granty Boy. Right? The name of the book is If You're Not First, You're Last. The original name of the book was going to be Don't Be a Little Sissy. Let me change that a little bit, right, Joe? It's actually going to be a little different name, but I want to keep it clean tonight. The publishing company said, Grant, we can't go with the title, okay? The title's wrong, man. I said, well, what are you suggesting? I mean, look, I could be talked out of anything if the advance is right, you know? So they came up with this, if you're not first, you're last. And when you read this book, and we're going to give you a copy before you leave here tonight, I'd love to sign it for you, all right? Look, this book is for executives. This book is not for little people that want jobs. There's a lot of unemployed people in our country today. Hey, the truth is, and you're not going to hear this on TV, some of them deserve to be unemployed. They just made it official, man. Shit, they weren't working 2 years ago. You got people in your stores today that you allow not to work. That's one of the things I want to talk about tonight, about you guys shifting and saying, wait a minute, man. See, many of you are making money right now. You're like, oh, we're doing good, we're doing good. You're doing good because you cut your expenses. Now what are you going to do to go sell some revenue, drive revenue, to become a real business? Okay, an entrepreneur drives revenue. He doesn't just cut expenses. A manager cuts his expenses. How do I drive revenue, man? How do I explode? How do I make a New York Times bestseller? How does a car salesman make a New York Times bestseller when 754,000 new books were written this year? You know how you do it? You sell. First you decide you're going to dominate the marketplace. Would you agree? You don't go into an agreement about contraction. I'm going to be a little baby. Oh, golly, the economy. Hey, man, the economy sucks. You've been talking about that for 18 months. So what? When are we going to make the shift and say, okay, I'm going to take advantage of this thing. I'm going to whip everybody in town. I'm going to take market share. You couldn't take market share 18 months ago. Would you agree? Twitter this. You couldn't take market share 18 months ago. You can take it now. Would you agree? Here's another problem for you. You can't advertise your way out of this, man. This ain't an advertising program. You can't spend enough to get attention. You know, when you get a bad hit on your reviews, hey man, you just need 300 people saying great things about you. I don't try to get rid of the bad people. I took a bad comment from some jack, probably a competitor, could have been Jim Ziegler. I get a bad comment about this app that I just dropped in. It's called Close the Sale. Go to iTunes. If you got an iPhone, it's free, man. It doesn't cost you anything. You get 12 closes, which will be 11 closes more than most of your people have. Okay? There's 12 closes in here that are free. Budgets, payments, down payments, price, whatever. Your people believe they have to give something away in order to get a sale. Would you agree? You got desk managers that believe, let's give it away, contract. Let's drop our price, contract, get small. Hey, we'll sell something. That ain't selling, man. If you're going to sell 40% less, you need 40% more money. Would you agree? My competitors all started dropping their prices. What do? Hey, no, man, raise your price. Don't drop your price. My competitors quit advertising. I increased all my advertising. I spent more money in the last 18 months than I spent in the last 18 years. Why do I do the app? Because I want everybody to have it. In India, China, I want to take my footprint and put it on planet Earth. And when you think selling, if you're not first, you're last. I'm not talking about a race, man. I ain't running a marathon. When you think training, I want you to think Grant. If you're not first, you don't exist. You get it? That means you got to think in terms of domination. Domination. It doesn't matter if you think in terms of Twitter or Facebook. Okay? Any of you could walk out of here right now and watch what I do on Facebook on a daily basis that I personally do, in addition to the books and the speaking engagements and the travel and the wife and the kids. All you guys that do SEO for a living, you watch what I do on Facebook every day. I don't talk about it, right, Joe? I hammer it. You know why? Because I don't compete. I hate the idea of competition. How many of you were taught the idea that competition is a healthy thing? Let me just see a hand if you were taught that. How many of you were taught that competition is a healthy thing? Okay, good. For who? Who the hell is it healthy for? Ain't healthy for me. Competition is for sissies. Compared to domination, look, if competition is healthy, what would be complete domination? It'd be immunity from any problem. Would you agree? So that's what I want to talk to you about.